As a Tesla stock investor, I was totally surprised when I saw this. This is Tesla testing its new seats with a robot that is specifically built just for testing seats. That is innovation. It's a bit surprising, but it still counts. Also, the seats seem to be a little bit more perforated. These seats to me look more boxy and bigger. That to me indicates that perhaps there is going to be a ventilation feature that these seats will have. And what seems to be extremely likely is that these seats will be exceptionally durable because Tesla does test them a lot, I guess. Here's another surprise for Tesla stock investors. We'll translate this from Korean. We now have pretty good confirmation that indeed Tesla received more orders in the last few days in South Korea than it did in the whole of 2022. According to the Korean electronic payment agency industry and the financial sector, the amount of Tesla payments made from the 14th to the 17th is estimated to be more than 40 billion won, and a deposit for one vehicle is about 3 million won, which is $2,400. On the 14th alone, 35 billion won was paid, and these are just for reservation, is my understanding. This is not how you pay for the vehicle. You don't pay for the vehicle with just your credit card, right? And the daily reservation size for a Model Y rear-wheel drive approximately was 12,000 units, and South Korea registered 14,500 units in 2022, so that's a big increase. South Korea will probably contribute to better deliveries, noticeably, in this quarter. So this moved from being a rumor to now pretty much being confirmed, which is great news to us Tesla stock investors. And here's another surprise for us. It's official, says Ross Gerber, our resident Tesla bear D Kawasaki has returned his Porsche Taycan and is receiving a full refund as the car was so bad. He is going back to a Tesla in a humiliating defeat of another Tesla killer. We had another surprise on TV where a host pointed something out.
Right, we're seeing this negative reaction in some of Tesla's closest competitors, if you could call them that.
On Monday, Tesla stock was up 3.2%, Ford down almost 6%, Rivian down about 3%. These are Tesla competitors, if we can call them that. I know it's a bit surprising, but mainstream media perhaps is starting to figure out what Tesla is. Now, this perhaps is no surprise, but here's how one of the analysts reacted to Tesla building the first Cybertruck in Texas.
The demand for this vehicle appears huge, and that's why we're seeing some analysts today update their coverage to the upside. Wells Fargo does maintain an equal weight rating, but raised its price target to $265 from $170. Wedbush's Dan Ives also did reiterate his outperform rating and a $300 price target, which was at one point a street high, but now the street high looking at around $350 a share.
Tesla has not even launched the Cybertruck officially yet, and the price targets for Tesla stock are already moving up. What do you think is going to happen when Tesla actually starts delivering these Cybertrucks? Walter, who was together with Elon for the last few years in many meetings, which allowed Walter to really observe Elon and write a biography. He was just on TV and he shared some thoughts.
You have a relationship with Elon and obviously you're writing a book.
I'm a biographer of him.
That's what I mean. I think that if you were not doing that, I think you might be much tougher on him, just from where you stand on a lot of different issues.
Wait till you read the book and you'll figure out how
But in general, when we ask you, you give him the benefit of the doubt a lot here, and I wonder if that's because you're conflicted because you're close to him and writing a book about him.
Or he's finished with the book. He can say what he wants at this point.
Look, when you get up very close to a person, as I have for the past 3 years with him, you understand that person better. You understand the motivation.
All of his faults that the left likes to point out so much.
And there are a lot of faults, and he has a demon mode that is destructive. And that is the question when you write a biography, though, is how do you take the dark threads and realize that you can't just pull them out, that he wouldn't be who he is without both demon mode and his drive.
Currently, things are going well over at Tesla. On Monday, Tesla stock closed higher than on any other day year to date. It closed at over $290 per share. This is the highest that Tesla stock has been in the last 10 months, and to get back to $1 trillion in terms of market cap, it only needs to go up $100 billion in the market cap, which would be equivalent to $315 per share. But don't expect to have a smooth ride up. Elon is Elon, and Elon is going to Elon, and I, as a Tesla stock investor, will let Elon. If you're not cool with that, then Tesla stock is probably not for you. This is a whole package that you get and you can't really choose. You can certainly complain about it, but don't expect Elon to be different. And certainly expect huge pullbacks in the future. Tesla stock, again, at some point, I would be surprised if it doesn't go down 50%. Just the question is, are we going back down from here, or are we going 50% down from, let's say, $600 per share or $1,000 per share or $2,000 per share later? At some point, it's really inevitable if Elon Musk remains as the CEO of Tesla. It's just a matter of time before Elon Musk is going to do something really silly again, and that will be presented in the form of a Tesla stock buying opportunity that everyone almost is going to be complaining about. Not me, though. I will be buying more Tesla stock. Exactly like I bought more Tesla stock back in December.
And by the way, how are you more impressed with him after spending that much time?
I'm more impressed with him as an engineer. I think that he does not have a fingertip feel for, empathy, emotions.
Many view Elon as one of the world's best engineers, and it's really quite impressive then to hear Walter saying that after spending a few years with Elon, he thinks that Elon is an even better engineer than he previously thought he was. Wow.
Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
This cage fight situation. Does this make any sense to you? Do you think
I think we're watching the cage fight. I think it's a metaphor, no pun intended, for the meta fight with Twitter. But we're not going to go to the Coliseum.
But does Elon really want to do it? I mean, I think that Mark Zuckerberg really does. And I'll be honest, I have two sons who are twins who think of both of these guys as their heroes. And it is not good if you're in my family. In a civilized society, I don't want them fighting. But
when I think it was his 30th birthday party, Tallulah Riley, he was married to then, the British actress, and they put on sort of a Japanese pageant somewhere, and part of it was a sumo wrestler. And typical of Elon Musk, he could not help jumping in the ring with the sumo wrestler, trying to throw him. And he threw out a couple of discs, and he's had 3 operations since.
Right, I don't want this guy.
He's not going to go, I don't think.
I don't want him getting hurt.
Cage match.
I don't want either of them getting hurt.
At this point, Walter knows Elon Musk fairly well, so I am quite reassured to hear him say that he doesn't think that the fight is going to happen. However, Mark Zuckerberg seems to be really serious about this fight, so it's really up to Elon to say yes or no to this fight at this point, I think. And Dana White spoke to Elon, and he seems to actually be really serious about the fight. Dana White says that Elon wants to do the fight. So I don't know, but at this point, it seems to me that the chances are a bit higher of the fight actually happening than not happening. There's one more clip I want to show you, but it's only in audio, but we'll be back to video right after this one.
Cybertruck finally coming off the production line. Have you been in one?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And?
I have. Well, there's a wonderful scene, which I do in the book, which is about 6 years ago, when he's sitting there with his designer, Franz von Holzhausen, and they're looking at a Ford truck, and he said, no, these things are boring. It's just like Twitter.
Right.
It's like he doesn't like to be bored. And he puts up things from movies, from sci-fi, from video games, and says, I want it like that. And everybody's pushing back on him at this meeting.
Telling him
and he
no.
finally says, yeah, stop it. We're going to do it. We're going to make it edgy. So I think Cybertruck, I mean, it
looks awesome. It does look awesome. I don't know.
I don't know who's going to, I mean, I'm not the type who would buy something just to make a statement coming down the road, but I think a lot of people like it.
Not only is it cutting edge, it is literally edgy. The next question was about competition. How does Elon Musk handle competition? Specifically about Threads, which is a clone of Twitter, basically. And Threads right now, that app is not doing good at all. Sensor Tower substantially revised down its Android daily active user estimates for Threads. Implies that Threads will stabilize at under 20 million daily active users rather than 30 million.
Do you know what his take is on Threads at this point?
He finds it boring.
And does he may find it boring. Does he find it nerve-wracking in terms of thinking about it as a genuine competitor, or does he say, you know what, this is a flash in the pan It doesn't have the, look, we were talking about it earlier, it doesn't have the feature set yet at all to really compete with Twitter in terms of on a, just daily thing, in terms of it doesn't have hashtags, you can't search it. I mean, Twitter as a product, the sort of technology underlying it is just, heads and shoulders better. The question is whether people find the conversation on Twitter better, worse than what's happening on Threads right now.
It's contentious right now on Twitter. But you're right, there are more features. And for 3 or 4 years, Twitter rarely added features. One of the things in my book that I try to explain is he gets rid of 80% of the engineers.
Right.
And yet every night he's sitting there adding a feature like put up video, be able to rewind video, be able to have, spaces work so that there's all sorts of talk shows each night. So he's adding engineering features even as he stirs up the contentiousness that I think scares away some advertisers.
Personally, one of my favorite new Twitter features is the ability to see exactly how many views each tweet gets. For example, this tweet got almost 4,000 views and 40 likes. Before, you would only be able to see likes, and I would think, why even bother tweeting if no one is going to see it? But actually 4,000 people saw the tweet. That's quite a few people, not just 40 people. And this newest move made by Twitter, which compensates creators, but only from ads that are shown in the reply section, is already making Twitter a more interesting and more engaged place to be, because check this tweet out. Farzad basically broke down exactly how much money he made from Twitter, but he also replied 22 times below this tweet. These were interesting replies to other people, and I read every single one of them, and that is making Twitter better, more engaged, and I'm more likely to come back to Twitter more often and spend more time there now.
I think Musk likes competition. I think competition is good for Twitter, and I think that it's going to force him to add more features.
Does he care about losing money?
I don't think that his biggest motivating fact is the amount of cash flow. I think that if he wanted to make money, he wouldn't have bought Twitter. He wouldn't have sent rockets to Mars.
He did it
and
for
he
us.
Probably wouldn't do electric vehicles. He's not mainly, this is the theme of the book, is there are a lot of weird things and demons and drives that motivate him, but money isn't number one.
Money is just a part of it, which is an important part because you can't go to Mars without having a lot of money. And developing electric vehicles basically from scratch also required quite a bit of funding.
Twitter owner Elon Musk revealing over the weekend that the social media company is still cash flow negative. Why did he put that out there, you think?
Well, first of all, he's impulsive. He will tweet anything that's in his head. And his management of Twitter has been because he really loves it, and he loves putting out impulsive tweets, and he loves the contentiousness of it. His favorite line in a movie is, "Are you not entertained?" That final line of The Gladiator, and that's what's distinguishing Twitter for better and for worse against things like Threads.
I do have to say that the more I invest in Tesla stock and the closer I follow Elon Musk and Tesla, the less entertainment I consume. We don't have cable, and I even canceled Netflix. Although occasionally we have friends over and sometimes they want to watch a movie, so we subscribe to Netflix again. YouTube says you should watch this video next, but if you haven't finished watching this Elon Musk interview, watch this one first. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.